What's up, guys? Welcome to another Ask Matt, a very unplanned Ask Matt as per semi-usual. Sorry for the lack of notice, just figured I'd hop on relatively unannounced and see who pops in here. So I'll give it a little extra time to let some people pop in before we get going, since I didn't tell anybody. So hope everyone is super well. Hope everyone is doing the business thing, going after what you really want, all of that. As we wait, I'll go ahead and plug the Facebook group. Made an epic rant earlier. This is what you're missing if you're not in the Facebook group. Just talking about, revenue versus profit. Something I've made videos about before, but not recently. Saw some stuff going around, and it's just like, we still need to talk about it, It's like, you see somebody posting 10K revenue, you got to understand what that means, right? So I'm going on some real rants in the Facebook group, so make sure you get on in there. Looks like we've already got a few peeps in here. How you guys doing? Pull it up on my phone. Yeah, I was just saying, as usual, give it a few minutes, let you guys show up. Again, my apologies for a relatively unannounced Q&A, but just wanted to check in. I would say it's going to be a short one, but I have no idea. If we get going, then I like to just keep going, so it depends. Depends. I'm a peep, I feel special. What's up, Max? What's up, Servio? What's up, Sam? What's up, Robert? What's up, Jay? Anthony? How is everybody doing? We'll get going with questions in just a minute. It doesn't have to be just Amazon. I like these to just be pretty casual and just kind of like go into, whatever else might even come up. But feel free to ask Amazon questions, of course, or e-commerce business in general. But wherever you guys want to take it, I'll just be kind of trying to pick out the good questions. One thing I'll say to you guys in the chat live is like, I think some viewers have started to see like a lot of the questions a lot of times, So if you feel like you're asking like a very basic question, I don't mean it to sound bad, but like I've probably answered it in other videos. So yeah, I mean, I'll try my best to hit a lot of questions, of course, but like I usually get buried, so I try to pick out ones that I think are unique or something that I could go more into. Oh, let's see. I stopped cooking dinner when I got the alert of this live. That's the Lobster Squad. Don't make that a thing, please. I shouldn't have said that. Let's see. What's a worthy first question? Should I get insurance for my first private label product if I'm just testing the market? So here's the thing. Technically, yeah. You want to be protected. All of that. I don't think we need to talk about liability, getting sued. That's the reason you're asking the question. Those are valid concerns, and technically if you want to be by the books, you want to be safe, those are things you should have in place day one. Now the reality of it is one person watching this will not even live. One person that sees this entire replay out of the couple thousand of you will actually do that. That's just the reality. So the real answer, like my legal advice, and obviously talk to insurance representatives, talk to lawyers, but it's to have it by day one. I know most people will be scrappy and they'll figure it out later. So when you should really do it for sure is once this is something you'll be sticking with. Once you see that it's turning into something and you are taking it seriously, that's when you should absolutely do it. So, whether that's, as soon as you feel that confidence. David, hey Matt, should we list in multiple categories? If so, what are the advantages? I think I saw your question in a DM. Oh, I'll announce that real quick, guys. I'm testing something. Today was the first day on Instagram. My Instagram is at Matt Loberstein, and what I did was a question of the day. So I took questions, and then, well, I don't need to play it, but I took questions. People DM me. I'm screenshotting the question that I pick, and then I'm answering it like in video. So send me a DM on Instagram. Follow me, of course, and do like hashtag QOTD or question of the day, just so I know that you're not asking me a question in general, but you're asking it for that. That way, I won't answer it right then. But I mean, obviously, I probably can't get to all of them on my stories, but I'll be picking out of those QOTD question of the day questions and answering them in video on my story. So check that out and let me know if you guys like that format. I'm just experimenting. It's not necessarily going to be something I keep doing forever, but I'm testing it right now. I'll probably do it for at least a few days, maybe a week to do a test. But let me know, those of you who are here right now, what do you think of that? Those of you who saw it. And yeah, I'm probably going to keep that going for now and see if people are responding well to it. What's up, Matt? What's the special occasion? LOL. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? What special occasion? What's the special occasion? You tell me. I didn't get an invite to any special occasions. Let's see, I'm already behind. Have you looked into doing a meetup? Yeah. So I've done them already. I originally helped with somebody who was organizing the Amazon LA meetup that started several months ago, and now I'm part running it, sort of semi, just telling you guys about it. So when those meetups come up, which I have in the past, I tell you guys. It's not really like mine, like it's not like a me meetup, but it's an Amazon LA meetup, and I'll be talking about that. Go into my normal Facebook group, and I really should link it, but there's another Facebook group for this LA, for those of you who are in LA. And yeah, and I also would like to, I haven't done it recently, but just a more casual meetup. Like we would do them we did a couple at just like Bulletproof Cafe in Santa Monica when we'd have like 10, 12 people show up. And that was a while back. So I'm interested in doing that again. It's always fun meeting you guys in the real world outside of this internet. Oh wait, I never even answered the question. Should we list in multiple categories? If so, what are the advantages? So you can't really like choose to. Amazon will change you around. Really just focus on the one. It'll get cross-listed in other subcategories. There are cases where you can get on seller support and try to get them to cross-list you in two or whatever, but like typically they'll change you back if it doesn't make sense. So I don't really play that game personally. Let's see. Have you ever been sued or had liability issues? Nah. Let's see. This looks interesting. This is a question about relationship advice for entrepreneurs. What does your girlfriend do that makes you feel supported in your pursuits? What is the dynamic between you two when making decisions? I mean, I don't even know how to answer. It's like, I mean, first of all, you have to do it for yourself, whether or not you're supported or not. I mean, if you're with somebody that's openly unsupportive, I think that could be bad and very toxic and unhealthy. I don't have that. At the same time, like, we don't really cross motivate necessarily, like, but if it's not negative, then, it's on you. So what does she do to make me feel supported? I mean, I guess it's just like, I don't know, like being able to talk about the issues or, running the problems by her. That type of stuff definitely helps. And just, listening to all my crazy ideas. What is that dynamic between you and making decisions? I mean, I run my business. Like Jessica, like I'll take, input on things, but like, and we're talking about doing things more together, but all of my stuff is like, I mean, that's like my stuff. Like she's not a partner in those businesses, though she has helped me a lot, like, especially in the early stuff with just like little work and stuff that needed to get done. But like, yeah. I'm in fitness apparel. Generic samples came in Asian sizes, tiny. I gave manufacturer the size charts. My custom private label sample now looks too big. What do you think I should do? I mean, I think you need to base it off of what is most widely accepted in the US, you know? Like, base it off some existing products that you know are like the right size. So you can order some of your competitors based off that, because I do think sizing, if you're getting into that type of stuff, you need to be careful. You want it to be sized correctly. Hey Matt, in your course, do you vet products? I mean, not every product, but I do have like live over the shoulder, like me, you know, diving into different products and getting you into my thought on all of the different ways that I evaluate, both on discovering products, but more importantly, for those of you who are in the course, the Zero to Brand course, you'll know that I strongly feel that product research has been flipped upside down compared to most of the stuff you find on YouTube. It's not about having this machine that spits out one product. It's about feeding in, looking at every product, looking at everything into this funnel, and then the evaluation is key. So you get my evaluate. I mean, you get the top of the funnel too, like how to get ideas, but the evaluation is key. So how do you evaluate a potential opportunity and make sure it makes sense for Amazon? There's a ton of that. There's me, you know, poking around on actual products and, you know, giving those, seeing how that fits into that equation and like, oh, well, this one's good at this one's not good at this, all that type of stuff. Really good idea about the Insta stories. Glad to hear it. Damn it, there's no lobster emoji. Yeah, there is. I swear that your phone is causing static. Oh. Let me move the mic. Maybe I have the phone too close to the mic. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. What do you think about low profit products but high volume, like $4 before PPC? Not a fan. I think it's tough. I think you need that healthy profit to go aggressively with advertising. $4 means $0. It's hard. Did you seek an attorney when trademarking? Yes, I had a patent or an IP attorney, not just patent, but like intellectual property attorney, file it all, do it all, research it all. You know, you don't want to mess with that stuff yourself. What is the low end and high end for products, photos, including lifestyle images? I'll give you a ridiculous tip right here. Ridiculous tip of the day. Massive tip incoming. Use like micro Instagram influencers for lifestyle photos. Like they're just up and coming photographers. They'll do it for free in exchange for a product. They'll do it for a lot lower payment than a professional photography place will do it. And then you can get a variety of photos too. Boom. That's big. Looking for a good question. I need like suspense music. Will you have the parrot lady back on live? We'll see. Those of you who were in my Instagram live the other night, lady with a parrot came up to Jessica and I at the beach and talked for like 30 minutes on the live stream. It was literally the greatest thing ever. Sorry for the holdups. Like I said, I'm trying to pick questions that will bring the most value. I've obviously hit a lot of questions now that we've been doing this for a while. Best and fastest way to get reviews in my first Amazon private label product. Dude, there's the fastest way, and then there's the only way. Okay? The fastest way is you do something that breaks the rules. The only way is you figure out how to get a lot of sales through marketing, through promotions, all of that, and then some of those sales turn into reviews. That's the only correct way. So there's not really any hacks. In product research, Ben asks, how many pages of competitors on Amazon is too competitive? So this is what I refer to as like It's not, there's no set criteria, there's no set answer, and here's why. Markets are different sizes, okay? You might be able to sell, like, what if you could sell 20 grand a month by being on the third page for a product, whereas another product, you know, there's only 3 competitors, but they only do a grand a month each, right? Like, people ignore the fact that it's so dependent, like those two things work together, right? Market size, number of competitors, right? Like you have to be balancing those things. So there's no set number of pages or competitors, and people are yelling outside. Is it necessary to get a sample? I would say yes. I mean, nothing is necessary, but yeah, it's very, very, very smart to get a sample. You want to confirm, you want to get an idea of the product you're potentially ordering before you order it. You know, absolutely. I am in different area and different culture. I am starting my own sunglasses brand line. My question is, does your course help me in this? Thank you in advance. It depends. I mean, are you really trying to go the Amazon route, right? Because while I do talk about building a brand from scratch and scaling above that, ultimately we still want to leverage this Amazon thing, right? So if you don't know that sunglasses make sense on Amazon, then you're going to have a hard time implementing the Amazon side of things. That said, you could still absolutely use the course to optimize what you're doing on Amazon, but the focus of the course is really like using products that are opportunities for Amazon to succeed on Amazon and have the foundation for scaling above it. Hopefully that makes sense. But I think it can help just about it can help any product brand that is interested in selling on Amazon for sure. But if you're already set on a certain brand and kind of doing things a different way, then you know the value might be different in your particular case. I'm sure there's still something in there of value, but if you're not trying to play like this Amazon thing, then it might not be exactly what you were looking for. But I do think that it can, if you're looking for that, then it definitely looking for questions. Does Amazon care about sellers? We are the product of Amazon. Amazon wants sellers. You know, we're paying Amazon a lot of money. So, yes. I'm in Carlsbad, West LA every Saturday. Really want to go to an FBA meet anywhere from San Diego to LA. Can be Monday through Thursday, 6 to 10 a.m. I mean, we don't have a set time, set day, but it's usually nights. I think we've been doing like 7 p.m. or so. But we'll see. Just stay tuned in the group. Bulletproof is on me. Cool. Yeah, hit me up. Let's see. Just turned 16. Got my first LLC. Ordering product the next week. Wish me luck. Good luck. What are the industry standards for profit margins on Amazon after all expenses and fees? You should shoot for at least 30%. Preferably, that's the low end. That's for like a really good opportunity despite the low end. Hopefully like 35 to 45%, 50%. And that's before advertising. That's the way that I think about it. I think about my profitability after fees, after cost of product, but before advertising. And the reason that I think about it that way is because that profitability is my room to play with ads. Meaning if my profit is $10 on a product that sells for $22, well, that means I can, in theory, spend up to $10 to get a sale, and that's my break-even point. Your break-even point is really, really important because that's how aggressive you can go. Yeah. You're a super likable man. Your humility is awesome. No question, though. I really appreciate that. Whoa, Joshua, I see the Tim Ferriss influence questions coming in. Let me see. I mean, I love these questions, but I don't know if I can come up with good answers on the fly. What purchase of $100 or less has most positively impacted your life in the last 6 months or recent memory? I love when Tim Ferriss asks that question, but how do I answer that myself? Oh God. I love the question. $100. What have I even bought recently? I'm gonna think about this one. This might be boring, but I wanna think about it. Geez, I haven't bought much things lately, honestly. Sorry, I really can't come up with a good answer, but I mean, I'll just spin this a bit and kind of combine the next question. What new belief or behavior habit has improved your life? Like, I invest in my health and habits a lot, right? So a lot of supplements. I mean, the amount of supplements I take in a day is expensive and a lot. And the amount that we invest in really high quality, cleanly sourced food is a lot. So to me, that's the best investment, is in my health. Sometimes that's $100, $100 might be like a day. But to me, like, that's super important, and anything I can do to increase my health and my, I don't even know the word, balance, is a worthy investment, for sure. I wish I had like a really prepared answer for that one, because I love the question. I love those Tim Ferriss questions. In the last 5 years, what have you become better at saying no to? Distractions, imitations, etc. What new realizations or approaches have helped? I think that question, I feel like I wouldn't have known what to say 9 months ago, but since this YouTube channel and like becoming public, it's really, it's changed my life in some ways that, like, now I have people hitting me up a lot. And like, while I appreciate every single person that like is like, oh, like, let me buy you coffee or buy you lunch, it's like I have to say no to most of those. Like, I have to. Like, it's not a good investment of my time to like do that unless for some reason I think that it really makes sense, right? It's like, it has to be, the takeaway here is fair exchange, right? Like, everything in your life needs to be fair exchange. Like, what is in it for both sides, right? So I think this has been good practice for me, because it's made me, I've gotten to a point where I can't respond to every single message. I try to respond to a lot of messages, for sure. Like most of you guys know, you've probably pretty much everyone has gotten a response from me that's tried, but sometimes I get buried. One thing I'll say on that though is like how you said like how you choose to say no is like, one thing with the questions and the asking is like, sometimes I get really amazing messages from people, but they're like so long. And like, while I appreciate that, because it's like giving me so much details, it's like those ones I skip for later, and sometimes I never get back to them because they're just really, really hard for me to consume when I have like tons and tons of messages and requests. Hopefully that translates to other people in some way. How many people we got in here, by the way? 69. Not bad for unannounced. While most folks in here are starting an Amazon business in general and look to you for their education, who do you look to for continuing education in regards to your business? That's a tremendously great question. That's something that's on my list for making a video, is like, who influences me? Let me think of a few. I really go like way up. Like, to be honest, like, I don't consume the content of any of like my peers, I would say. Like, sorry, but I just don't. Like, I don't, not that it's bad, but like I don't care to. Like, I don't even consume Amazon content really anymore. I just feel like I have a different approach at this point, and I have my thing, and I know my stuff. Like, I don't so this question goes outside of Amazon, right? Like, I look to people at that top level, personally. Of course, you guys know, I already mentioned Tim Ferriss. I love watching Gary Vee, of course. A few podcasts I like. I really like Self-Made Man by Mike Dillard. He's a cool guy, really knows his stuff. Freedom Fastlane, Ryan Daniel Moran. His show has been very influential to me over the years, and I continue to listen to it not every single time, but a lot of the time that's a great one. And he just has a big vision for everything. And I definitely think he's influenced me and continues to influence me. Honestly, lately, like I'll take this question a little bit of a different direction. Or wait, before that, let me think who else fits into that category, so I don't miss any. Andy Frisella. I haven't listened to his podcast lately, but he's great. Yeah, those are some good ones. But what I will say is that I'm really starting to take influence from like people that are really outside of it, right? Because I've mentioned this before, like in a video of like kind of like my regret or whatever is like not building a business I'm more passionate about. Not that what I'm doing is like something I hate by any means. Like I have brands that are pretty cool, but like getting to that level where you're really working on like your life's mission or your life's work. Like I really admire, like as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Bulletproof. Obviously, like I buy all their stuff. I'm not. People are always like, "Are you sponsored?" I was like, "No, like definitely not." But I just spend a ridiculous amount on Bulletproof because I like their products. I like their mission. I like everything. And Dave Asprey is a amazing marketer, maybe too much sometimes. And great. But what I admire is that his business is aligned with his life, and the same for Aubrey Marcus, founder of Onnit. And the reason I bring up those two companies is because it's a personal interest of mine too. So it's like I like to take influence from that because like everything in their life is aligned, like their routines and their mission and the culture of their company and the products that they serve and the content they put out. It's like just one big package. Like, and that's something that I think is sort of required to get to that next level of fulfillment that I don't have now. So I think that's something that has in the past few months been continuing to like bubble up in my head is like that aspect, you know, working on something that is like really, really big. So that's how I sort of continue my education is looking to people like that. Tom Bilyeu, also another one. He was one of the co-founders of Quest and puts out great business content. You know, people like that, people where they have it all aligned, like they're not just successful at business, but they're like successful at a business that aligns with themselves. I think that is like the next level. That is the cool thing. Like it's cool to build, you know, some business that you think you can sell and make money. I mean, like that's cool. And I will continue to do that. Like I'm not only like, I've got a long way to go, but, you know, I think that's really that next level. Absolutely that next level. Oh yeah. CD says, hit that thumbs up, please. Thanks for the reminder. Hit the thumbs up. Really does matter. It helps. I always forget. I always feel weird saying it. So if you like these videos, just always do that. You know, it helps get the video out there some more. Let me skip down a little bit. Also curious if you follow the Bulletproof diet, and if so, your thoughts on it, energy levels, weight management, etc. Yeah, I do. I would say that's pretty much exactly what I follow in terms of diet is the Bulletproof diet, which is basically like paleo to an extent with more paleo minus all the dates, right? Like, and more ketogenic and with more specificity of toxins and sourcing of particular items, right? Because paleo can ignore a lot of that. Keto can definitely ignore a lot of that. And Bulletproof gets really into the micro. And that's what I think is important. So, yeah, I do follow like the Bulletproof diet. Yeah, I do. And I like it. And energy, yeah, great. I mean, sometimes I definitely like, but the diet aspect is great. Like it's definitely helped me. It's definitely great for losing weight as like a offshoot effect. Like that's not why I did it, though at that point, like I had gained some weight and I did lose that weight to where I am now. But it's definitely great for that, though that's not the reason I do it. The reason I do it is really for like longevity, mental performance, you know, just making sure your sleep is on point and your inflammation and your everything, you know, that's the reason that I am into it. Not sure on that one. What advice would you give for someone trying to start and grow their personal brand? I mean, I'm still learning this, no doubt about it. And I think I put a lot of thought into it because I want to build a really long-term personal brand. Like I've said this before, is like I really, really don't want to be the Amazon guy forever. Like really, really, really. I'm going to be in the Amazon world for a number of years more, but I am trying and hopefully succeeding to build an audience that is interested beyond that, you know, which is interested in business in general, which is interested in life optimization in general, which is why we're doing business in the first place. It's to get to some level of freedom, to fix something in our lives. That's really what I want. That's really what I go for. Like I didn't get into business to get good at business. I got into business because I wanted freedom of time, freedom of location. Like those are the things that got me into business, right? So, you know, that's like, I really want to be able to talk about things outside of just Amazon and even just outside of business. And I'm trying pretty consciously to get to nurture that. Hopefully it's working to some extent. Obviously right now, I think it will continue to branch out as I hopefully continue to get, you know, more attention. Yeah. But advice for growing their personal brand, you know, I mean, I think like one thing that I've done well and I think is super key is, and it's like almost becoming cliche to say it, like I don't even know if I like the word, but authenticity and transparency. I mean, these things are becoming so necessary in business and in life. I mean, like everything is just exposed, and you know, you've got to just be you, and you have to just be you, like whether that's like whatever situation that's in. Now, I think the reason that I almost feel like it's hard for me to give an answer to is because the reason my personal brand got to some level relatively quickly was because I had done something that was interesting to people, right? And I think that's an important thing. It's like, do you have something that's interesting to people? For me, it was like I had already built up this Amazon business to, you know, 7 figures over multiple years. And when I came into this YouTube space, I posted some numbers and I posted some numbers on Facebook, and people are like, whoa, like I want to learn from this guy. I want to talk to this guy. I want to ask this guy questions. So that really kickstarted it. So it depends where you're at, you know, like what's your thing? Like you've got to have a thing. Like if you're just you, like, that's hard, you know, like you've got to have some hook, for sure. Now, if you don't, you can't fake it either. That's where the authenticity plays in. You've got to just be you, showing, hey, like I'm doing this thing, like I'm trying to make this work. I think that's harder to make it grow because you don't have a hook, but I think that's the only way to do it, is that authenticity. Since I put you on the spot, maybe you could do a video where you answer the Tribe of Mentors questions after you've had some time to think. I like that idea. Yeah, that's Tim Ferriss's book. That's where a lot of those earlier questions were coming from, if you guys were wondering. But that's a good idea. To be honest, like I've struggled to find time to read. Honestly, the last like few years. I have Tribe of Mentors, but like I haven't even read it. Would you recommend custom box packaging or choose packing in OPP bags for your first product? You know, a custom box is really great in most cases, unless it really doesn't make sense for your product. Then just do a bag with an insert card or some kind of sticker or something like that. But I think a box is great. Found a product, or I skipped one. Wait, I'm 10 minutes behind on the chat. Oh, not too many down there. Sorry for the little delays in here. Try to pick out good questions for y'all. What are your thoughts on having a bundled product as your first product? I think bundles are a good way to differentiate, but you just need some way to differentiate. It doesn't have to be a bundle. I think a lot of people force the bundle thing and they end up doing something that makes no sense whatsoever. And what you really don't want to do is take product A, which sometimes people buy with product B, but the people that buy A and B is only 10% of that market, and it doesn't make sense. Like if you're gonna do a bundle, it needs to be like a no-brainer. Like this is an obvious add-on improvement to the product, but it shouldn't be like you're trying to literally get people that were buying A and buying B to buy yours, because now you're just cutting your market by like a ton. How do you define your spirituality? I don't even. That's a hard one. I'm not religious at all. Zero of that. Though, like I don't even know like the word spirituality. Like it's more to me. It's like I like meditation. I like doing good. I like being a good person. Like I think that there's a lot of like the same beliefs that are important, but like I don't have a term for it. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, Joshua, you've got some great questions that are difficult to answer. In reference to Start With Why by Simon Sinek, I love it, by the way. What would you say your why is? Yeah, I mean, so I think I kind of touched on this earlier, is that I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, I don't know. I think my sort of philosophy over the last few years was accumulate money, make money so I can leverage that into other things that I'm more passionate about. And I honestly think that's a great model. Like, I know, like, I've personally started to talk more about, like, mission and passion and stuff, like, how I said in my regret video about that. Like, I'm starting to talk about that now. But that's a core, very key point, I think, is because I actually believe that, like, some people, Gary Vee will say, like, you got to, like, build a business around your passion. And I don't know that that's always good advice, because I think that can be a lot harder. And I think what I want to do now is harder because I have done the other thing. Like, so I think it's actually great to, like, go for the opportunity, make, have some level of success, and then roll it into the next thing. And this is going to get weird for a second, but, like, anybody that, like, 100% knows what their why is, like, I am highly skeptical of. I think that, like, you as a human, like, you're always evolving. Like, that's part of being a human. Like, people that have known exactly what they do with their entire life since they're, like, 15 years old, I'm just like, are you sure? Like, have you ever, like, freaking, like, thought about it, or got high, or tripped balls and, like, really freaking thought about it, or, like, had, like, one of these conversations where you're, like, going deep and, like, thinking, like, what am I really about? Like, I mean, to me, it's like, so anybody that's 100% certain, sorry, I got weird, but, like, anybody that's 100% certain, I am skeptical of. So for me, I think it's always evolving. I think I don't know. Also, I'm unsure. I'm still figuring it out. But I think, like, right now I'm on this, and for several years, the life optimization thing is massive for me. I think that there are major issues with just the world becoming, like, that was sounding wrong. There are, like, more toxins and problems in the world right now than ever, but I also think it's, like, literally, like, the most optimistic, amazing time ever, and there's so much negativity, and I think that's what I'm fitting into the most right now, is, like, having this optimism for everything that can be better, despite the fact that, like, there are so many issues. Like, there's just, like, more pollution, more toxins, and the food is more unhealthy than ever, and the air and the dirt, and, like, everything is just like we've got a lot of problems in the environment, but we also have, like, just literally, like, the craziest capabilities now. Sorry, I don't know, went on a tangent, but I feel like that's kind of like how I mentioned Bulletproof and On It. Like, I'd really like to build something around that passion right now, because that's been my main sort of why, I guess you'd say, for the last, like, few years. And I would love to spread that and ultimately, like, make an impact through that. But the real answer is I don't know. Like, I'm not going to commit to anything for life right now. I think that's a mistake. I think the core of it is that, I want to have the freedom to pursue whatever the hell is most interesting to me at the time. So if that's something totally different when I'm 50, I want to have the freedom to pursue that when I'm 50. I think that's a better answer to than the one I just gave. What did you think of that? Am I crazy? Are you unfollowing? Unsubscribing? Have you read Delivering Happiness by Zappos founder? No, I haven't, but I believe I listened to, like, a podcast or heard about it. Like, I thought it was, like, I know the concept of it, and I think it's awesome, but I haven't read the book. Basically, in a nutshell, my understanding is that, like, Zappos just went majorly above and beyond with customer service, and that was a big reason for their massive success. You could literally, I believe you could call them for anything. They had a phone number that you could call for anything. like literally anything, and you could just like talk to them. And their only goal was to make the customer happy. How to save freight costs when shipping from China? Sea shipping. Just launched a new product. Inventory sold out within 2 weeks. Reordered more. After fee and PPC, I realized the first inventory is just break even. Should I increase ads? Honestly, breaking even on your first order is not a bad place to be. Like, you got to realize that. Like, all you want in the beginning is proof of concept and traction. Like, well, I mean, I have to be careful. Like, obviously, you need to be going towards profitability, like for sure. But your first order, you haven't reached peak momentum yet, in my opinion. So if you're breaking even really quickly, that's actually a great sign that you're onto something. So yeah, keep going, in my opinion. I mean, it's too soon. I'd love to see a video of explaining how you use Helium 10. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Helium 10 is one of the few tools that I use. There's links to tools that I use in the description. You can check those out. They are affiliate links. So if you use them, you're buying me a bulletproof coffee. So yeah, you can check those out. Those are the ones that I use in my business. Have you moved to a different state for filing LLC S Corp? No, I have not. Did you ship products yourself before FBA? No, I did FBA, but I did receive them to myself at the beginning and then ship into FBA. And what is the best for someone starting out? Amazon storage fees. FBA, 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 FBA. I just mentioned Ryan Daniel Moran. I actually just saw a story on his Instagram, and it was like him answering a question like, "Oh, should I ship myself or should I do FBA?" And Ryan Moran, like, he just like was making a joke. He's like, "If you don't do FBA, I will pee on your lawn." And I was like, "That's the right answer. Like, that's the right answer. If you don't do FBA, I'll pee on your lawn." So, yeah, thanks to Ryan Moran for that answer. But that's the right answer. 100%. You got to go FBA. I mean, you're tapping into Prime, like all of that. I mean, this is the game that we're playing. That's the game. You're FBA. That's why you typed in Amazon FBA, and you've probably found my channel, and that's the game, you know? Do you solicit reviews for new products or just wait for them naturally? Yes, I do have an email follow-up sequence. I do not do any like hardcore exchange for review type of thing. No, you shouldn't do that. That's against the rules. But I do have an email follow-up sequence. Yes. Do you listen to anyone other than Gary Vee? Do you have a mentor? Yeah, I actually listed out a whole bunch earlier in this video. So go back and try to find that question because I listed out that I answered that basically. But yeah, definitely other than Gary Vee. You know, I mean, I love Gary Vee, but like, I think the whole, like, he has one line that I think is great, and it's watch what I do, or watch what I'm doing, not what I'm saying, or watch what I do, not what I say, which is honestly amazing advice to apply to Gary and to anybody, right? You can learn the tactics by what you see somebody doing. And Gary never explains stuff. Like, I don't feel like I've never like specifically attributed some tactic to, like, especially in Amazon. Like, back before I started YouTube, I never really had anything to attribute to Gary, really, other than like entertainment, motivation, like stuff like that. But look at what I'm doing right now. Like, that's the Gary influence, right? So yeah, hopefully that answers that. Any tips for things to include in the packaging or insert card to encourage reviews? Yeah. So first of all, insert card is great. You could definitely encourage a review on the insert card. Be a little careful. But what you don't want to do is pair that with any sort of incentive. So either you're going for some sort of incentive and no review, or you're going for a review and no incentive. Does that make sense? Hair is looking strong as always, Matt. Thank you. I know you push private label and brand building, but for someone new, before you get to that point, where do you think the best potential to consistently meet an ROI of 30%? Online arbitrage or wholesale? I mean, I don't do either of those. So, you know, I don't know if I'm the best to answer necessarily. sorry, where'd the question go? But basically what I like to say is you need some sort of hustle to build up, to have some sort of income. And then you can play with that money with the scalable thing, right? Like that should be your goal. Like make money so you can take risks that are scalable. That's like basically how I've gotten to where I am now, is that exact model. So whether you're doing it from online arbitrage or wholesale or flipping, just do it. But honestly, like for me, I never did those two. But what I did was reselling. I would buy stuff on Craigslist and sell it on eBay. I would meet people on, from like, I don't know, anywhere, any classifieds, right? And I'd sell that stuff on eBay, or I'd buy stuff on eBay and sell it on other forums. Like I was just doing that. Online arbitrage, I feel like, is hard. I mean, I don't know how much people are succeeding for that, to be honest. Wholesale can definitely be scaled up. I mean, there are people doing massive numbers in wholesale for sure. So, but I think that's probably hard to get going from zero, I would imagine. Again, I'm not the expert on those two. What will be your next car? We'll see. I'd really like to get up to the territory of like a McLaren 570S. That's pretty up there though. We'll see. Not about to drop on that right now, but I looked at a lot in between my current car and the Porsche and that, and like I don't know, just there's nothing that I'm like that. Like there's cars I like, but nothing that I'm super obsessed with. Well, I'm obsessed with them, but not enough to like actually buy it right now. I love a lot of Porsches, GT3, GT4. I consider it a manual Gallardo, even like R8s manual. Yeah. Quick question. My automatic PPC with 0 reviews has been a disaster. Any tips? My budget was $100. My only tip is you need to check out your conversion rate. You need to dive deep into that and optimize it. I live in an apartment, so I have no lawn. Yeah, me neither, actually. I don't have a lawn. There's no lawns by the beach. Nobody has a lawn here. Even like the $10 million houses right here don't have a lawn. Lawns are weird, by the way. What the fuck is a lawn? If you have a lawn, I'm just joking. But really, I don't really want a lawn. Or a house, but that's a different story. How do you decide how much information to include on your packaging? It's a good question. I mean, I think it varies case by case. I feel like I'd have to be looking at it to give like a really smart answer. But, the obvious, like some sort of photo or icon of your product showing what the thing is, the size, the materials, the capacity, it depends on your product, but like what is the necessary sort of details that should be on there for sure. A website URL, Instagram or whatever social icons, maybe like one panel could be like how to use the product or like, the uses for the product. And maybe the other one could be like a story about the brand, your barcode, country of origin, made in China has to be on there. Logo, that's about it. But I would say, in general, I like to go for not super cluttered, but everything on there serves a purpose. Do you recommend Amazon FBA or Shopify dropshipping for a newbie? So I don't do Shopify dropshipping, so let me say that first. I think the upside of that is there's less risk and investment up front. I think the downside is that like that's hard. Like it's harder to like drive profitable traffic. Like if you can do that, like you should be really rich by now. Like that's hard. Like that's the type of stuff that is high level. I actually want to make a video. I'm curious how many of you follow Alex Becker, but I want to make a video like almost like to Alex Becker about like, how he like that, his model plus Amazon, that's the insane, that's where it gets crazy. Like if you're so good at driving Facebook traffic to Shopify, drive that shit to Amazon, because all that's going to happen is you're going to feed Amazon's organic rank. You're going to make the same sales, the same money that you would have made on Shopify if you're that great, right? Like if you're that great at buying traffic and leading it to a page and getting a sale, You should be able to do it on Amazon as easy as you can do it on Shopify. Now, where it gets crazy is there's no ranking on Shopify. Whereas if you're driving hundreds of sales through a keyword on Amazon, through your paid traffic, and now you're ranking, I mean, now you're getting all these organic sales because you're showing up in the ranks on Amazon. So, I don't know. I find it weird, this resurgence of dropshipping. I'm sure that, I know there are people doing really well. I find it weird. I mean, but I might play with it. I'm sure there are people doing well. I don't mean to knock it. I just think, like, if you've gotten good at it, why haven't you moved on? Does that make sense? Like, that's what I kind of think. Lay Burke, what's up? Just saying hi. How's it going, dude? Where's your tree? I wouldn't quite call it a tree, but my little shrub plant is, honestly, it's like, it gets like 0.5% better like per week. It's like the slowest healing plant I've ever seen. Thanks for the answer and good answer to the why question. That's life. Always learning, always changing. Yeah, I agree. Wholesale would be buying from Alibaba and selling on Amazon, for example, right? But what do I gotta pay to Amazon, FBA? I'm still new, LOL. Yeah, you gotta research. You gotta do some research, dude. Like, you're not ready yet, obviously, which is okay. You just gotta learn. You gotta dig in. You gotta ask questions in the Facebook groups. You gotta watch YouTube videos. But there's, you know, you gotta factor in shipping. You gotta shipping to Amazon. You gotta factor in the fulfillment fees from Amazon, meaning Amazon packs and ships and stores your product. There's all these fees. You got to factor that in. But when we talk about wholesale, we actually are typically meaning like wholesaling existing brands. Like, I mean, this is a stupid example, but like this is like a brand of a water. This is water. This is water. But like wholesale would be you contact this company and you're like, I will buy 100 cases of your water and I will sell it. That's wholesale. Private label is you contact the manufacturer, like the source, and you're like, I want to put my own label on this bottle and sell it as my own. That's private label. You need a lawn when you have kids. Trust me, you definitely need it. That's Francis. What's up, Francis? How's the beach though? I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's a little better than the lawn. Gotta say. We got Francis in the live. That's how you know that it's a successful live stream. It's getting a bit long. I'll cut it off at an hour. I like just hanging out. You know, I like that. Do you guys like the casual vibe of these, or do you prefer it to be like bam, bam, bam? I'm curious about that. Because I just feel like I'm hanging out with you guys and like having a conversation basically, which is cool. Obviously, it's a less structured format, so I just want to make sure that you guys like this format. What else do you invest your wealth in besides Amazon FBA for more passive income? You know, that's the next level. I'm not at that level. Like, one thing that I talk about a lot is that these businesses are expensive to run. Like, inventory, like the amount of money that you have in inventory and the amount you have to pay on taxes, even though you have it on inventory, like, you can have a great business but not have like I don't have millions of dollars invested. Like, I'm not a millionaire on paper at this point. Like, so I'm not at that level of investing for passive wealth, really. Like, that's where I'm trying to get. Like, I want to have millions invested because that's where you buy true freedom, in my opinion, because then you do have actual passive income. There's a lot of debates about like what is passive income, right? Like, people are like, oh, Amazon's passive. No, it's not. That's not passive. Here's what passive income is. Passive income is buying an index fund and making 6% or whatever. That's passive income. You don't do shit. Like, you just put your money in there and it grows. That's passive income. You know, like, I mean, owning real estate and renting it out is not even, I mean, it's more passive than Amazon, I would say, but it's still not passive if you're the one like managing tenants and, you know, all of that. Like, it's just not. So to me, like the true wealth is when I get to a point where I can do absolutely nothing and still make, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what my exact number is, but like, I would love to $10 million in real estate, and no matter what, I make $1 million a year, even if I just do absolutely nothing. Like that to me is like the true wealth freedom, right? That and beyond. I'm not at that level. I mean, that's like the journey I am on. So I definitely want to get into things like that, but I'm not ready to. I'm not just like sitting on all that cash. I put so much back into the business, into new things, into advertising, into inventory, into new businesses. I'm playing that business game, because let me note this too. Nothing is higher ROI than your own business. Like, and this could actually be like a whole segment, a whole video, or like a whole freaking debate, really, is like, when do you invest? When do you invest? Because I think that people are like, I've got $1,000. Like, where do I invest it? And that's just like even if you make, I don't know, that just doesn't make sense. Like that you're not ready to invest. Like even $10,000. It's like you make what, 10% a year, like, which is, you know, a substantial like passive income sort of number. You're making $1,000 a year off that. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's like I'm trying to like whereas in business you take 10 grand. Sure, it's more risky than investing in an index fund, but the ability to turn a 10 grand investment into, over time, I'm not saying this is overnight or easy, but the possibility of turning a 10 grand investment into a 10 grand per month income is real and doable. I mean, I first started with like $1,000. So think about the ROI on that. So it's like, I think people need to invest in themselves first. They need to invest in business first. They need to invest in their own skills and capabilities and learning and trying things and starting businesses. And to me, investing is something you do when you have a few more zeros to invest. So that's my take on it, at least. I'm sure some people disagree, but that's my take on it. Is like, it'll make a lot bigger impact when I have much, much more money to throw at it. Obviously, there's compounding that's important, but you know, there's no point in, I don't know. That's my thoughts. Let's do a couple more. Let's see. I want you to get a bonsai tree. Those are good to have, good energy. Let me know where we can meet up. No strings attached. Tree won't cost you. Long questionnaire, just a free bonsai? Dude, sweet. I'll take a free bonsai. Come to one of the Amazon meetups. I hope we can make it at a time that works for you. But yeah, I will totally take a bonsai tree. Just tell me how to not kill it. I have a bad history of killing plants, like real bad. This little succulent here is like my only success story. It's my only case study, guys. This is my success story. This thing has lived for several years and it has grown. It has not died. So this is my most successful plant. Yeah, Amazon isn't passive because you still have to work for the money to come in. Yeah, for sure. To me, I see passive as like passive. Sure, there's all like levels of how much work you put in. Obviously, Amazon is more passive than reselling, and reselling is still more passive than having a job. But to me, I see like passive income as like an investment where you do nothing and it pays you. That's passive income. To me, that's my definition of it, is like literally passive, like no work. That's passive income. And even like mental burden, like even having to think about it and plan it and change it and tweak it is still work, you know, like yeah. Bay Area meetup. Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen eventually. Haven't had that many people. You know, I really am curious like where everyone's at. Like maybe I should do a post in the Facebook group where we have more people, because yeah, like I might be in Austin in a few weeks, and I'm curious like if there's enough people there for a meetup or something, for example, or Bay Area at some point. But yeah, it seems like a really high proportion of my followers are in LA, which is interesting because I didn't do that on purpose. But I don't know if it's just the interest in Amazon is really high here, but like there's a lot of my following is in LA. Matt, you were just talking about passive income. I know you said you're not there yet, but Amazon FBA does pay for your lifestyle, like your home, car. Yeah, it does pay for my lifestyle, my my apartment. I don't own a place I don't want to. I've talked about that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this has been my only stream of income. Now, I didn't pull money out right away. I took some time, but eventually I took out a little bit more and, you know, increased my living expenses. And yeah, I mean, it's been my only source of income until, you know, the last few months, where now I've had opportunities come to me mainly on the back of, you know, having this stuff has led to other stuff. But yeah, I mean, Amazon was my only income for a solid 3 years straight. It was my only thing at all. So yeah. And yeah, I mean, as far as home and car, I mean, like I said, we rent this place. I mean, it's not cheap. Obviously, it's like literally like half a block from the beach if you've seen my Instagram stories or the vlog, obviously. And you know, I mean, I could rant and go on random things, but like, for example, my car, like it's not as expensive as people think. Like, it's really not. Like, it's really just not. Like, you can, not that you should go waste your money, but like, not everything, like, there's smart ways to go about a lot of things. When is the X Amazon meetup? I think next month. I don't think there's going to be one this month. Anyways, guys, let's wrap it up there. Wow. Yeah, we're over an hour. Hope you guys really liked that. If you are watching this replay and you are not subscribed, subscribe, hit the bell. Then you'll know to get in here. You'll get notified that I'm live, that you can come in and ask your question directly. Smash the thumbs up. It really does helps me get it out there. And the biggest thing you could do is tell people. Like, if you get value out of my channel, I would super appreciate that you spread the word. Like, I'm trying to grow this. I'm trying to reach more people. I'd really appreciate that, and it would really help and impact the channel and more people, which would be awesome. So, you know, if you're interested in any of this stuff, like, there's links to the Facebook group. There's links to all the things, as I like to say, in the description below this video. So check that out. Thumbs up, subscribe, all of that. Peace.